Welcome to the Copperfield Electric Podcast. Here on the Deep Dive, what we do is, well, we love digging through information. Piles of it, articles, studies, notes, you name it. And we pull out the really key stuff, the insights you need. It's basically your shortcut to getting informed, with maybe a few surprising facts thrown in, hopefully enough humor to keep you listening. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something super important if you're settling into a new place: electrical wiring tips for new homeowners. Our goal here is pretty simple: give you the essential info to keep your home safe, efficient, and up to code without totally bogging you down. And this deep dive is powered by insights straight from Copperfield Electric. They're your go-to 24-hour electrician right here in Orange County. A family-owned business really focused on top-quality electrical work across Southern California. They serve all over Orange County. Think Irvine, Anaheim, Santa Ana, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, Mission Viejo, and, all the nearby spots. And their team, highly trained, licensed, bonded, insured, background-checked electricians, gives you real peace of mind.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating with something people often miss is just how vital that electrical system is. It's like the hidden backbone for your home safety, its function. New homeowners that get caught up in paint colors, maybe the yard, but just a little understanding of what's behind those walls can save you some major headaches later on. Gives that long-term peace of mind. Is way more than just flipping a switch, right? It's this whole network working together. So today, we'll kind of peel back the layers. We'll look at the basic parts, the really critical safety stuff, how to plan smart for outlets and switches, and maybe the biggest thing, when you absolutely need to call in the pros.
Okay, let's unpack that. Electricity is just there, right? We take it for granted. But for a new homeowner, what are the core pieces of the system they really need to get their head around? Beyond the light switch, I mean.
That's a great starting point because, yeah, it's definitely more than just switches and plugs. Think of your home's electrical system, almost like its circulatory system. Really vital. The heart of it is your electrical panel. You might know it as the breaker box. That's ground zero, where the power comes in from the utility company and then gets split up safely into different circuits all through your house. And each of those circuits, it's protected by a circuit breaker. These are basically automatic safety switches. If a circuit gets overloaded, too much power flowing, or if there's a short circuit, snap. That breaker trips, cuts the power instantly, prevents damage, prevents fires. Super important. Then, from that panel, the electricity travels through the wiring. Usually in newer homes, it's that plastic sheet cable. Romex is a common brand name. Older homes, or maybe some specific spots, might have a metal conduit. Different types for different needs. And then finally, at the end of the line, you've got your outlets and switches. That's how you actually use the power every day. So here's a question for you, thinking about your own place. Do you actually know where your main electrical panel is? And have you ever opened it up and taken a look inside?
That circulatory system analogy really sticks, yeah. And just knowing those parts is step one. But knowing what they are is one thing. Let's talk safety. The absolute must-dos. Our sources kept hammering this home. Electrical safety comes first. Because, wow, faulty wiring or even just well-intentioned DIY mistakes, they can lead to fires, electric shocks. It's serious stuff. So what are those non-negotiable safety rules homeowners need to know?
Oh, absolutely critical. It's easy to underestimate the danger, honestly. So, the number one takeaway, the biggest one: hire certified electricians for anything major. Repairs, installations, upgrades. It's not just about skill, though that's huge. It's about following the code, making sure it's insured work, and frankly, avoiding really dangerous mistakes that could cost you everything. Second, don't overload your outlets. Think of each circuit like a road. It's designed for a certain amount of traffic. Plug too many high-power things, toast, microwave, space heater into one outlet or outlets on the same circuit. That road gets jammed. Wires overheat. Insulation melts. That's a fire waiting to happen. And extension cords. They are temporary solutions, never, ever a permanent fix. They just aren't built for long-term high load.
Right, those thin cords running under rugs.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Exactly. Third, use GFCI outlets. That stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. You absolutely need these in kitchens, bathrooms, garages, outdoors, anywhere water might be present. What they do is detect tiny changes in the electrical current, like if electricity starts flowing somewhere it shouldn't, maybe through water, or worse, through a person. And boom, they cut the power instantly. They are literal lifesavers. Dropped hair dryers in the sink. GFCI can prevent a tragedy. And finally, always follow the National Electrical Code, the NEC. This isn't just some dusty old book. It's the national standard, written by experts, constantly updated, all designed for safe electrical installation. These rules aren't suggestions. They're legal requirements for your safety.
That GFCI point is huge. It's not just convenient, it's actively protecting you. Really drives home that some things just aren't worth skipping. Okay, so safety first, got it. But thinking beyond just avoiding disaster, our research mentioned that smart placement of outlets and switches makes a home safer and just easier to live in. What are some good planning tips for new homeowners? How can they optimize things from the get-go?
Oh, smart placement makes a world of difference. It cuts down clutter, and crucially, it reduces relying on those risky extension cords. The NEC actually gives guidance here. They recommend outlets roughly every 6 to 12 feet along a wall.
Seems like a lot.
It might sound like it, but
Right.
think about it. It means you rarely need an extension cord for lamps or electronics. Reduces trip hazards, fire risks in the kitchen. Definitely plan for outlets near countertops where you know you'll have your toaster, coffee maker, blender, all that stuff. And a little modern touch. Consider outlets with built-in USB ports. Cleans up all those charging bricks.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
And switches, think about flow. A switch at both the top and bottom of stairs. Essential. Same for long hallways. No fumbling in the dark. So good planning here directly fights that urge to use extension cords everywhere. Makes things safer and just more convenient. And common projects for new homeowners. Often things like installing ceiling fans, adding more outlets exactly where they need them, maybe upgrading an older electrical panel that can't handle modern demands, or running new wiring for a renovation or home office.
Those are super practical. Ceiling fans, extra outlets, I can definitely see that. But, I can almost hear someone thinking, okay, but just adding one new outlet or swapping a switch. I watched a video, seems easy enough. Hey, yet the message we found everywhere was crystal clear. House wiring is not a safe DIY project for beginners. When in doubt, call a licensed pro. So what exactly does that professional bring that a motivated beginner, even watching tutorials, just doesn't have? Why is paying for that expertise really worth it?
Yeah, that DIY temptation is strong, right?
Yeah.
Especially with YouTube University. But here's the thing. A licensed electrician brings way more than just knowing how to connect wires. First, and this is huge, they ensure everything meets the National Electrical Code.
Yeah.
That's critical for safety, yes, but also for your home's value and your insurance. A fire caused by faulty DIY wiring, your insurance might actually deny the claim. That's a devastating financial hit.
Wow, didn't even think of the insurance angle.
It's exactly. Second, they're experts in planning.
Yeah.
Safe outlet placement, efficient lighting design. They can install complex things properly. Ceiling fans aren't always simple. New circuits need to be integrated correctly. And they can assess your main panel. Is it big enough for your AC, your older car charger, all your modern gadgets? Often, in older homes, the answer is no. Now about the cost. Yeah, it's an investment. Smaller jobs might be manageable, but a full house rewire, that can run from a few thousand up to $10,000 or even more for big houses. But think of it this way. It's an investment in safety and preventing much bigger costs later. A house fire, medical bills from a shock. Those costs dwarf the price of hiring a pro. It buys you peace of mind. It's really telling, People search online constantly for how to wire a house step by step for beginners. But the real expert advice, including from folks like Renee Hernandez, the owner of Copperfield Electric, is that the best first step for a beginner. Call a licensed electrician. The risks, fire, shock, they're just too high. And this loops back to maybe 3 fundamental rules for wiring. 1, never overload a circuit. Know its limits. 2, always use safe practices. Power off, use the right tools, keep work neat. And 3, meet all code requirements. The NEC is your friend here.
That really puts the DIY idea into perspective. It's not just about saving a few bucks, it's about potentially life-altering risks. Okay, so we've covered the big installs, the major safety rules. What about just everyday living? Are there ongoing habits or tips new homeowners can adopt to manage their electrical system safely day to day?
Definitely. These everyday habits are key for long-term safety and just keeping things running smoothly. They really build on those core rules. First, get to know your electrical panel. Seriously. Label every single breaker. Know what part of the house it controls. If the power goes out in one area, or worse, if there's an emergency like water near electronics, you need to know instantly which breaker to flip off. No guessing.
Good point. Panic mode is not the time to figure that out.
Exactly. Second, avoid overloading. Be mindful. Spread out your high-power devices across different circuits. Don't run the microwave, toaster oven, and electric kettle all at once on the same kitchen circuit if you can help it. Third, test your GFCIs regularly. Monthly is ideal. Just push the test button, it should click off, then push reset to turn it back on. If it doesn't trip when tested, it needs to be replaced. It's not protecting you anymore.
Simple check, big safety impact.
Yep. Fourth, be aware of wire types and sizes. You don't need to be an expert, but understand that different things need different wires. Heavy-duty appliances need thicker wires. lower gauge number than, say, a table lamp. Using the wrong size wire is a fire hazard. And finally, upgrade when necessary. Our homes use way more electricity than they did 50 years ago. If you see lights flickering off and breakers tripping constantly or outlets feeling warm to the touch, those aren't just quirks. They're warning signs your system is strained. It might be time for an upgrade, especially the panel or specific circuits. Don't ignore those signs.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big picture for a new homeowner? This deep dive seems to really highlight a few key things. Understanding your system is step one. Safety is absolutely paramount. Planning makes life easier and safer. And crucially, knowing your limits and when to call a pro. It feels like it's about shifting from maybe being a bit intimidated by electricity to feeling confident and informed, right? And that knowledge is powerful. But like you said, for the actual work installs, upgrades, troubleshooting, tricky stuff, definitely anything involving the panel or major wiring, that's where you need the experts. Experts like Copperfield Electric, they handle the whole range: EV chargers, panel upgrades, finding problems, even 204/7 emergency calls, plus that 100% satisfaction guarantee. They really seem to be the electricians you can trust, like they say, across Orange County and Southern California. And we should mention these great tips we've been discussing come straight from their expertise, grounded in the experience of pros like owner Renee Hernandez.
Absolutely. And maybe this leaves you, the homeowner, with a question to think about. Now that you have a better handle on your home's electrical pulse, take a moment. Is there anything in your setup? Maybe that panel looks really old. Maybe you rely too much on power strips and extension cords. Maybe you realize you don't have GFCIs in the bathroom that might need a closer look. Or maybe even warrants getting a professional opinion. Just thinking about those things proactively, that's the real first step toward total peace of mind and keeping your family safe.
Couldn't agree more. For that safe, reliable system, whether you're just moving in, thinking about upgrades, adding circuits for that new home office, or maybe an EV, don't hesitate. Reach out to Copperfield Electric. Their licensed electricians can guide you, make sure everything's safe, up to code. You can find more info, schedule service, or get a free quote right on their website, copperfieldelectric.mom, or just give them a call, 626-622-9694. Remember their motto, let us fix it, so that you can focus on what you need to do. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you feel a bit more plugged into your home's electrical health.